Thanks for joining Sing Squad. I'm your host and political and cultural critic, Sharron with 2 R's, and I'm joined today with my lovely co-host, Ms. Kenniss, and you're listening to Seen and Heard podcast. Thanks for joining Seen and Heard podcast, where everyone should be seen and heard. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, share, and comment. If you would like to support us in our content, click the links in the description box. Go to our Buy Me a Coffee membership page and join our community. Or you can also make a one-time donation. No matter how small, all support is greatly appreciated. If you have a story to share with Seen and Heard podcast, tag us on your socials so we can find you. Tag us #Express or Seen and Heard podcast so we can find you, and we might even feature your story on the next episode. Also, we have a voicemail, so call and leave us a voicemail and we'll play that as well. So let's get started with this signal of stupidity. Okay, so I want to open up with, what is the Espionage Act? The Espionage Act of 1917 is a United States federal law enacted shortly after the U.S. entered World War I that criminalizes actions intended to interfere with the war effort, including obtaining or disclosing information related to national defense or obstructing military recruitment. The purpose: the act was designed to prevent espionage and to suppress activities that could undermine the war effort, including obstructing military recruitment and aiding the enemy. So as of last night, huge news broke about a Signal app full of Trump regime's DEI, meritocracy agents, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, among others, Mr. Anti-DEI. I'm going to play this clip, Ms. Kenniss. I'm going to get your thoughts on the other side because I want to refresh everybody's memory from last night because so much has happened. There was a hearing going on right now pertaining to that too, but Jeffrey Goldberg with The Atlantic is the one that broke the story, so I'm going to play this clip.
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
I'm going to be responsible here and not disclose the things that I read and saw. I will describe them to you. The specific time of a future attack, specific targets, including human targets, meant to be killed in that attack, weapon systems, even weather reports, that the government is I don't know why Hegseth was sharing it with everybody. I mean, the precise detail, and then a long section on sequencing. This is going to happen, then that is going to happen. After that happens, this happens, then that happens, and then we go and find out if it worked. I mean, he can say that it wasn't a war plan, but it was a minute-by-minute accounting of what was about to happen, organized by CENTCOM, Central Command, which is the military oversight group of the Middle East, the broader Middle East. This is their plan, and he was taking their plan and sharing it with a bunch of civilian leaders. It's interesting because as I'm reading it at 11:44 a.m. on Saturday morning, the 15th, seeing that the Houthis are not going to know about this for another couple of hours.
And you know about it.
Well, and I know about it, and I'm thinking to myself, honestly, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm glad that Mike Waltz didn't invite a Houthi into the group or a Russian spy or an adversary of the United States. But put that aside. I'm reading this, and I'm wondering, not only why am I reading this, but why would the Secretary of the Treasury need to know the precise attack sequence of this upcoming operation. Again, I don't want to talk about weapon systems, packages, targets in any specificity because, you know, I'm trying to be, I want to be a responsible person, and I'm more interested in the decision making anyway than I am in the actual technical details of it. But the whole thing is just very flummoxing to me because I haven't seen this kind of unserious behavior before. And, you know, and the Secretary of Defense, all due respect, in that presentation seems like a person who's unserious and is trying to deflect from the fact that he participated in a conversation on an unclassified commercial messaging app that he probably shouldn't have participated in.
Your thoughts?
So, first and foremost, if this dude really cared about life and limb, he would have given the details. Just that plain and that simple. Secondly, it sounds like this is some conversation that transpired on the 15th of March. If that's the case, what took so long for it to break?
Well, the reason, from other clips that he has been in that I saw, he was explaining that because it was immediate plans, like as soon as he saw the plans, first off, he was added by accident. He saw the plans, and then shortly after that, the plans, they actually, it did those plans. Like there was actual explosions and bombing in Yemen after he saw that. So he was kind of probably trying to get himself lawyered up and safe, you know, before he released more. Now, mind you, I appreciate the fact that he did come forward when he did, or however, because he did not save this for a book. Unlike the other people at the New York Times, like Mary Haberman, Katie Tur at MSNBC, and then the other guy, Woodworth, you know, they saved it for years and years and years. So I imagine he was trying to line up his safety and the legalities around that before he came out. But he came out pretty much in a timely fashion, I believe. But
yeah, he sure did. 5,000 deaths later, he came out. That's a responsible person, and that's what you do. You wait until 5,000 people lose their lives because the numbers.
I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
The numbers went from 45,000 deaths to 50,000 deaths. So, which one is worse? Save it for
in Yemen?
Save it for. Wait a minute. I thought you said Houthis.
Well, and then, but the attack was in Yemen.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, but, and then another thing he also said is a lot of the names that they had in the chat, those people are undercover. You know what I'm saying? Like they're doing like undercover work. So he can't release those names because then they'll be put in danger. So there's no telling what they're doing. But
okay.
Yeah.
Scratch all of that. You know. So
yeah, and I didn't mean it that way. Yeah.
So this is the attack that took place on the Yemens. Now, you know what? This country's position is ain't nothing wrong with some friendly fire. So what if you lose a few lives? And there's no such thing with these people as an accident. They knew what they were doing. They dropped it on purpose. And now they're talking about how, you know, this guy, whatever his name is, Goldman, Goldblack, or whatever his name is.
Goldberg, yeah.
He's on a hit list. He's on somebody's target list. So this is how they go after him because he told the truth. How does he get to be accidentally included? But bigger question than that, why is it that this information is being shared with civilian leaders? I don't get the reason for that.
That's the question. That's the big question.
So really? So
this is the picture of the group of the Houthi tax check. they say Houthi, but then the Yemens were attacked. So I don't know. I have to cross-reference that report.
So yet again, here we are sharing information with civilian leaders. Day before yesterday, I think it was, that they had the cabinet meeting, and yet again, a civilian all caught up in it. That man, who is, I refuse to repeat his name. He's apartheid supporter from South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know who he is. He's sitting up in a cabinet meeting. If he can sit up in a cabinet meeting, why can't we sit in those cabinet meetings? He has a green card. I don't have no green card. So I should be allowed to be there way before he gets in line to be there. This thing about, civilian leaders and blah, 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 and somebody accidentally got some information. Ain't nobody accidentally got no information. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
I want to play another clip of Tiffany Cross. She was invited, surprisingly, on CNN last night. Like I said, I don't watch CNN. I just watched the clips and the highlights, this morning when I woke up. But I want to play this clip of her response to this madness, considering Pete Hegseth is so anti-DEI and believes that merit is what is important in the government. So let's watch this clip, and then I'm gonna get your thoughts on this.
As a patriot, Scott, I find it really troubling because they ran on this whole idea of this pseudo-patriotism, this regressive masculine patriotism, yet everything they're doing runs against making America great. Well, it was never great, so I'm not going to say the again part, but making America great. You're trying to defend the indefensible. Yeah, I absolutely feel that way. I absolutely feel that way. And I think if you had the history that my people had in this country, that you might have a modicum of understanding and respect for that. America was never great for me.
I think when we talk later about why the Democratic Party is so unpopular,
I'm
it's
not
that
here to
America
represent the Democrats. I'm here representing me, and I think it is a common understanding that America may have been great for you. It was not great for me. I think there are people who want her to fulfill that promise. But the point of this discussion right now is the national security of this country, which your party put at risk. I'm not a member of the Democratic Party. I'm not here to represent them. But for me as a journalist, I'm telling you, this was a huge problem. So instead of attacking Jeffrey Goldberg, what they could do is act like men and own this mistake, since they ran on this regressive masculinity campaign, act like men and say, you know what, we failed. But instead what you heard was this president yet again lie and say, oh, I don't know anything about it. Soon enough it's going to be, I don't know this Hegseth guy that well. It's a consistent party of lies with this guy, and it's disturbing that there are so many people willing to defend this instead of saying, yes, this is a problem. They have not taken responsibility. They can set aside.
My girl.
Tiffany Cross, she is that's probably one of the reasons why they actually took her show off MSNBC, because I wouldn't watch all weekend, and she had that weekend show. I did watch on the weekend, and I didn't agree with her all the time, but I liked how she did there was a different way that she did the news, unlike the cookie cutter during the week. But besides that, I wanted to get your reaction after I added this. Now there's a thought. That Signal app has disappearing messages.
So before you get there, I want to say one thing about whatever his name is, Hegseth.
Yeah.
Hegseth is worth in excess of $17 million, and he got about 10 million in real estate. He does not understand, nor is he willing to even act like he cares about intergenerational poverty of people of African descent. Again, right on Tiffany Cross.
This is I'm gonna share this picture while I'm completing that thought. It's just like this is Pete Hegseth compared to Lloyd James Austin. Okay? Lloyd James Austin, and then we got Pete Hegseth. Okay. But so the thing about that Signal app, they have disappearing messages. If there are people out there that don't know that. So they're possibly in that Signal app because they want to avoid scrutiny and public record of their conversations and any future FOIA requests. Freedom of Information Act. So that's what they're trying to avoid while they're in there scamming in those in the Signal app. But
okay. So first and foremost, the FOIA Act. I know with everything that Donald Trump has done in the last however many days he's been in office, what about 60 days now?
mm-hmm.
In the 60 days he's been in office, one of the first things he scrapped was the FOIA Act. Y'all can try and submit a request for freedom of information all you want. It ain't going nowhere because it's gone. And as far as what is he, General Austin the third?
Lloyd Austin, yes, the third. Yep.
As far as he is concerned, they had already lodged a campaign to be rid of him before 47 even got in office. Remember, he had surgery. Well, those things are personal. Even HIPAA says they are personal. HIPAA says you do not have to share information about your personal beings with anybody unless it's being subpoenaed, I think. Fact check me on it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
The issue is when it came out what he was having the surgery for, it became a big deal. He should have told us. He don't have to tell you nothing. I mean, that's like saying, hey, ooh, by the grace of God, my black Jesus, I'm pregnant and I decide I don't want to have this baby because I can't raise it at my old age. I should go do what? Tell the whole world at my age I'm pregnant and I need to have an abortion? So it's just all of the idiotic lunacy by a bunch of lunatics, racist redneck lunatics. And we need to get together and fight back. That's all I have to say about this.
So I will link this article if you guys want to read it later. But basically, the attack on the general DEI or whatever Pete Hegseth was, this is proving how mediocre, his existence is just a distraction. So
hold up. See, on the side, I got one more thing to say. Maybe three. This person who's standing beside him with his camouflage uniform on, what color is he? Because I just had surgery on both my eyes.
Yeah, he's black.
He's black. So we know that the first people to put their lives on the line for these lunatics are their bodyguards. They're the people who support them and surround them. So you're telling me that even in the different wars, from the war, the Revolutionary War and all those other wars where we had people fighting, and they were on the front line because the racist rednecks never got on the front line. They were behind our people out there running up those hills, Battle of Bunker Hill or whatever. Fact check me again, I don't care. The point is, all of a sudden, y'all say you don't need no DEI because you don't need our people to be on the front line. Yeah, right. That's just like Donald Trump don't need to go play golf twice a week and charge taxpayers about $1.5 million. I don't believe it.
Also, I'm gonna just show the article that started it all. This is the Atlantic article. I can only read so far because I'm not gonna, I don't have
a subscription.
Right. It says behind the paywall, but this is the article. If you see this headline, the Trump regime accidentally, I'm just baffled when I see that. I'm laughing not because it's funny, because I'm in shock. The Trump administration accidentally texted me its war plans. U.S. national security leaders.
They didn't accidentally do it. They knew what they were doing. I refuse to believe that these scoundrels, these scuzbags, did something on accident. They knew what they were doing, and that's all I got to say about it.
Okay.
I don't believe that they did it on accident. Now, I do believe that Goldberg was shocked beyond compare. It was like, wow, somebody's just, sending me some spam, or this is
Right.
phishing, whatever the case. I do believe that. But the folk on the other side who said, oh, we don't know what you're talking about, ya la la la, you crazy, ha ha ha. They knew what they were doing. They did know what they were doing.
And not to peddle in any kind of conspiracy theory. I was just looking at people's different reactions to it all yesterday. Speaking of reaction, while I'm talking about this, somebody said that there's possibly speaking of these leaks and all, there's possibly a mole. They were trying to guess who the mole might be, but this is Pete Buttigieg's reaction to it, and he made a video yesterday reacted to this, which
that's where I got the hoodies from. America.
Oh, okay. And see, when I first heard it, they were saying the Yemen. He was saying that Yemen, after he saw those, maybe the hoodies was later planned, but he was saying immediately after he got that and then he left the chat, the hoodies were attacked.
Go, Peter. I'm not going to say that bad word, but hey.
Right.
He did it. He did it. And these people don't care about our safety. When you got 17, and whatever his name is, the man with the slick hair, Hegseth, when you got $17 million and $10 million in real estate, do you care about my people, my customers, my clients in St. Mary's Parish, Louisiana, who this country barely gives $23 a month in food stamps to and $285 in SSI benefits? You think he cares about them? Not a prayer of a chance.
Let's play this because I was looking for Buttigieg. I thought I had it saved, but I hadn't had it saved yet here. But let me play this clip and let's get your reaction on the other side.
Hegseth, what do you think?
Well, she's got two problems here. Two words: top secret.
Right. Yeah.
Before it was servers, it was classified. It was sort of this amorphous idea that maybe it was wrong. Everyone knows what top secret means. I've had a top secret clearance. It's big red flashing letters, top secret. You know when you're looking at something that's top secret or dealing with it. In this case, the public will resonate with that. Hey, if you're hiding that on a private server, that's a very real problem.
Well, and the other
likely
thing is,
criminal charges
and the other
to follow if they're being fair about it.
I mean, could there be?
So that was Pete Hegseth during the Hillary, when Hillary was running. So that was who that was. He was a Fox News host. So he's currently in position. He's the one that's in charge of our military at the Pentagon right now. He's the one that opened up the Signal chat group.
He's an idiot. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? The man is an idiot. He is an idiot. He puts a $5 suit on. He puts some gel on his hair, and he goes out and he plays like he has a brain. He does not have a brain. He is not Albert Einstein. He is not Garnett Morgan. He is not any of the real people who come up with great ideas that help this country to run smoother and better. The man is an idiot. He's an idiot. And if you caught him in the middle of the night when it was raining real hard, the gel would run down on his suit.
This is I did find Mr. Buttigieg's response, and we're gonna end on that before we close out for good. But this is Mr. Pete Buttigieg's response, and I actually do him on TikTok, but I could play it because there's no copyright music. But let me refresh this page here. Okay, here we go.
Secretary of Defense, the National Security Advisor, the Vice President of the United States, and other very senior, very powerful Trump White House officials, it turns out, discussed highly classified war plans, not only on an unclassified channel, but accidentally and randomly, it seems, including a journalist. And to see this administration claiming that it cares about competence and merit, and then be responsible for an epic fuck up like this, demonstrates that these are not serious people. I was an intelligence officer for about 7 years in the US Navy Reserve, and I occasionally handled highly classified information during my time in the cabinet as well. It can be hard to explain just how much goes into keeping that information safe. It is only available to people with a security clearance and a need to know. It's only discussed in certain facilities that are hardened to make sure that they don't have the same vulnerability to surveillance as most places. And importantly, you only ever use classified systems to discuss classified information. So America needs answers on why an unclassified, commercially available app was used, and even more importantly, how some of the most powerful people in this country didn't know that they accidentally included a journalist while they were discussing classified war plans that they had yet to authorize and execute. This is not something that's just important for its own sake. I know Americans who lost their lives because of intelligence failures. This kind of intelligence failure calls the question on whether there is any place for merit or competence in this administration at all. Because if there are not highly serious consequences for this level of screw up, then it will make clear that all of the bluster about merit that you hear about from this White House is just bullshit. We deserve so much better than this. It is getting clearer by the day that the people in charge of the American government cannot keep the American people safe. Got to do better. Hey, it's Pete.
Are you looking for a comment?
Yes.
Well, dude run for president. That's the first of his presidential campaign speeches. I ain't buying nothing there. It didn't sound real. It didn't sound genuine, but it sure as heck did sound like it's my opening speech, because I am coming back out and I am going to run for president again.
And but the fact that he did get out in front, and I am actually just on a pause for anybody running for president, because we got to get through this mess that we're in right now, because I'm still upset with the Democrats for just handing over the keys without no fighting to audit these votes and ballots and stuff like that, not bringing up the fact that a lot of these voting stations were bombed the night of the election. They were bombed, and people were just, I don't know. We'll get into that. That's another video. But closing out, what are your earrings? Your pretty earrings?
It's I don't know. It's just some ethnic design. That's all.
It's pretty, and then your Bob Marley T-shirt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, everyone. If you like the broadcast, please thumbs up the video, share, like, comment, and we have merchandise. You can check out our merchandise to support us. One-time donation, and we'll see you on the next show. This is ongoing, because there's a hearing right now, intelligence hearing. So I'll be checking in on the intelligence hearing, and we'll update as we find out more news. So, Okay, Miss Kenniss. Thank you,
Peace.
everyone.
Jasmine Crockett's birthday, March 20th. Caller, wish her happy birthday. Otherwise,
Happy birthday, Jasmine.